That's the porn adaptation.
Yeah.
I'll probably go back give them season of watch. But
Ash, I'm getting some weird interference when you talk.
Yeah, you're like.
Yeah.
What about now?
Not anymore.
Cool.
What weird porn is it you've got on that's interfering with it?
I ain't got any porn on. I got Wikipedia open. I was looking at what last season of Torchwood was called. That was it.
Oh, you've just made this so easy.
Yes. Wikipedia.
That's a story for another time and not when we're alive. We're live. Welcome everybody. We're back with a new episode of Aetherseed Cycle of Stars, our D&D live play game, set in my own little homebrew world where the clock moved forward to a modern era, so full of industrialized might and magic and cantrips you can buy in the pharmacy. Before we jump into proceedings and see how I may kill them today, or not, we'll just go around the room and everyone can introduce themselves and who they are playing. So, Wikipedia man, you start.
Hi, I'm Ash. I'm playing Olo, the Lightfoot halfling. Used to be a rogue, considering new career options at the moment as a seeker. Over to our resident cook.
Hi, I'm Jade. I'm playing Will. I am Fire Genasi chef. Currently jumping out of buildings just for fun. Extraordinaire. I will pass you over to Kat.
Hi, I am Kat, playing RaQui MriTtyur, the person who should be flying and falls from the sky. Over to you, Nate.
Hello, I'm Nate. I'm playing Errol, the Cragling fighter. Let's get into this.
Last time, our quartet of young seekers, initiates so far at this point, defeated an assassin aiming for the head of the captain of Reverend Day, the submarine-like city ship where they are right now receiving their training in the Seekers Guild, or as the organization likes to call itself, behind closed doors, the Rising Link. They defeated the assassin and discovered the assassin's motivations, part of a blood feud between their family and the captain. In the fight, the assassin saw RaQui flying outside the window and thought, that's my way out. And leapt out the window, tackled the Aarakocra in the air, assuming the Aarakocra would be strong enough to keep them aloft at the same time, and some miscalculations must have happened in his head because they plummeted down into the cafeteria that was the assassination site and just crashed into the kitchen. Following them was Will, who was not about to let this assailant go and jumped out the window and crashed down, breaking both her legs and one of her arms. But that was fine. She still had one left. That was enough. That one held the Weaver so she could cast the spells, all she needed. And quite pettily cast a spell on the assassin while moaning in pain on the floor. The assassin did try to escape, but didn't make it very far, as injured as they were. In fact, they were very close to dying from an attack from RaQui after Will had struck with her own spell. When we left off, the party had once again regrouped outside, and everyone kind of went their separate ways. Though there are maybe things left still to do with this case. Olo went with Errol and Roderick, their new companion, to have a nice dinner, in which Olo kind of gauged that Roderick may be a bit more into Errol than he was, so he bowed out and left them for a lovely dinner. And Will and Ricky simply retired, as Will was in desperate need of medical attention. And someone had to provide it.
She sent weird selfies to her girlfriend.
Yes, that too. She sent injured selfies to her girlfriend, who replied with injured selfies of her own. Because these relationships are fucking weird.
We just like to compare things, okay? We like to compare notes. Fine.
Sure, right. One thing that I mentioned last time, and it seemingly slipped everybody's mind, and which will happen as everyone has left the premises, is that in the apartment or the office where the assassin was, there still remains a ticking disruption grenade that may or may not be faulty. And about 5 minutes after everyone left, it went off. And as it was faulty, it was essentially an overloaded disruption grenade, which killed everything electronic or that used any form of power in a 2-block radius. Essentially a very localized EMP pulse. EMP pulse is redundant. A very localized EMP. That may come up. Yes, you were aware of it. We don't begin our game the next day. We begin the game overnight. Will, you are in a haze of restorative magic and drugs.
Woo!
Your bones have been carefully set. Salves have been applied. Splints have been applied for your bones, and restorative magic has been allowed to accelerate the process. In the world of magic and medicine is still necessary to, set things in the proper place so they may get healed properly and not, just straight up brute force heal things and leave your arm like a pretzel. As you have pretty much shattered most of the bones on your left arm and your legs. That's what happens when you jump out of a 4th floor straight into a kitchen with nothing to break your fall except the sudden stop.
Well, I had my hair.
The hair was flying above you.
Yes.
Your hair, in fact, would deal more damage to you when you land. Or, smother you and kill you.
Yeah. Haven't got quite Rapunzel yet.
Not yet. That's goals. That we'll call that, squad goals.
Yeah.
Now you're deep asleep. And you're back in that office. You're back moments before the assassin jumps. And everyone around you is moving slowly, including the assassin. So you see him just already in slow-mo heading for that window. What do? You seem to have control of this scenario.
So I will chase after him.
You reach him in just a few short steps. He is moving as if running in water, like underwater, while you are just moving yourself at normal speed.
I just kind of like push him to the ground and just kind of be like, would have been so much better if this had happened.
You push him to the ground, and the scene changes around you. And you see him in chains. And there's nothing else around you. No one. He is battered and bruised and at the edge of life and death. And you just have this feeling in your mind that asks you, what happens to him? If we get another whisper that says, where does he go from here?
He just stays there. Like, I'm not gonna kill him, but I'm not gonna help him either. He kind of deserves it.
You see two paths. One where he is, as you say, bound in chains. And you see him in a cell. You see like the scratch marks of days on the wall. And in the other, you see him working under supervision and eventually going out and leaving behind the prison. And you put a question before. He says, punishment or redemption?
Will's gonna stand there for a moment and think about it.
The words change as you're thinking. It says, punishment or rehabilitation? Punishment or the option to go free early? Punishment or the option to perhaps lie?
No. Before, I would 100% think redemption because everyone deserves that chance, but he doesn't deserve that chance. He killed innocent people. He doesn't. He it's different to what I was doing before.
You see two options appear before you. An apple pie, warm, inviting, the scent of home and warmth and family and everything you have come to associate food with. And the other, a cudgel. Symbol of authority, of perhaps order, or the very least, command. Which one does he deserve?
Which one does he deserve? He doesn't deserve an apple pie. definitely doesn't deserve the apple pie. He deserves order.
The apple pie crumbles and turns to dust.
What a waste.
And you wake up.
Such a waste of pie.
What a waste of an imaginary dream pie.
Yeah. At least I could have had it.
Before you wake, though, you see the very last thing you see is once again you in that office. And the assassin has just jumped through and you see him fall. And you are aware that the lift is right there. There's an emergency set of stairs down the hall. There's that window again. You get the impression, almost it's not a voice, it's not words, but you get an intent that is asking you, would you do it again?
Hell yes, do it again. Like, if I see in my mind's eye, if I see RaQui there, yes, 100%, she would out. Like, she'll start running again, because that was the main reason, was she needed to be there for RaQui and to stop this guy. So yes, hell yes, we'll go jump through that window again.
You run to that window and jump. And this time, don't crash and crack. Instead, land on your feet. And there's a cudgel in your left hand and a set of manacles on your right. And then you wake up.
Man, I really could do with some pie right now, though.
Well, you are being told to, you need at least another half a day of rest for the magic to do its thing and be, safe that you're not going to stand and fall over again.
Mm-hmm.
Though the drugs are wonderful. You're happy. You're very happy right now.
Mm-hmm.
Loopy as fuck, but happy.
Cool. I
Okay.
enjoy this.
Where do we find our medical examiner?
I've gone back to the morgue because there was a lot of bodies that we found before going to stop the assassin.
There indeed are a lot, but you've been kind of given a free pass as you were, first of all, tapped by the captain to investigate it. So, they're not making you do the, the follow-up work. But if you want to do it, that's up to you.
I want to do it. I've got a lot of stuff on my mind at the moment, and I feel that just scalpel in hand is a good distraction.
I want you to let's do a first roll for the night. I want you to roll a wisdom saving throw for me. I want to put the DC at 15.
Oh no, that's all right. 19.
19. Yesterday, you've in the past few months have had the experience of fighting, and there have been some moments, but yesterday was very much a close to being dangerous, or very potentially being very dangerous. You have never dropped out of the sky. Flying and being up has always been, that's your thing. That's part of who you are. And just dropping out, there were reasons for it, but it's still a very tough thing to go through. With that in your mind, plus the revelations that you've had in the past few days, you find that proximity to death both in awareness and, nearly dying yesterday. That contact that you have with a deceased that kind of show you glimpses of the last moments or the last thoughts or last feelings. It is an unending barrage of emotions that comes to you from every single body that is on your slab. But this is not the first time you've gone. You a long time ago learned to know what those feelings are and separate them from your own. And much like always, every time before, you have compartmentalized and can get on with the work. But do note that it feels stronger. Though you don't know if it's an evolution of whatever it is that you feel or just circumstantial. Olo, where do we find our dear halfling rogue this morning?
He's woke up. He's in bed. He's just gonna take it easy today. He sat reading a book.
What book are you reading?
It's a book called The Adventures of Sheridan Shershaft,
Esquire. You get a knock on the door.
Hello? Who's there?
The voice is familiar. You have spoken to this person before. And it's Darbus, one of the members of the Oxen Accord, one of the leaders of the city, and your trainer. And it's like, well, I don't want to pull you from what is a very well, deserved day of rest, but your students are up for their evaluation. Want to come check it out?
Yeah. 1 minute. Puts down the book, pulls up a bookmark, puts it in there, opens the door, comes out.
So you had a student that was problematic. If you remember.
Yes, I did. Morgan,
yes. You follow Darbus to the evaluation area. It's pretty much the same classroom you were in. And they're kind of taking them through more or less the things you covered in your lessons, which one of them was opening locks and, circumventing security. Let's call it that. Is there anything else that you may have taught them during this, say, first month or so? Or do you focus it on this specific skill?
Within the use of lock picking and the entry to protected places, I would have also covered basic traps, identification, and the triggering of.
Okay. I'm going to ask you, do you wish to roll for them or do you wish me to roll for them?
You roll for them.
Afraid of what might come up?
Nope, they're students. They pass or fail based on how good they are.
Yep. Though if they all fail, that may reflect poorly on the teacher and the instruction given. So they all have a proficiency bonus of 2. And I'm going to give him an average ability score of 2. I'm going to make 3 rolls for each evaluation. There's a total of like 6-7 students. They're all, accomplished in their own fields. They're just not roguish, so to speak. And they're basically having like temporary proficiency on this skill that you've been teaching them. So the first one I'm going to make 3 rolls for each section. First section is going to be the lock picking. Second will be noticing or identifying traps. And the third one in your curriculum is disabling traps. They are forbidden from using any magic, which has always been Morgan's.
Morgan.
Yeah. Morgan's been adamant that, if I have it, why not use it? But for the sake of finally someone gave him, the talk of stop arguing and do the goddamn thing. So the DC for all of these is 15. Okay, let's go. Okay. The results, I'm going to tell you the results on the lockpicking. The lowest roll, and this is about, say, 10% of the, like 1/3 of the students. The lowest roll was an 18. The 2 other rolls, one, again, for another chunk of the students was a 22. And Morgan and another 2 other students, to your surprise, a natural 20.
Nice one, Morgan. Glad you stopped using that spell. There's a time and a place.
They all kind of chuckle, but they do seem to have taken your lessons to heart, and or at least for Morgan and the other 2, that the way they did it is on par with your skill. In terms of the speed for this, it's a mildly, simple lock. Moderate in terms of you've done much more complicated in your time, but for what it is, they show great skill. Time for their observation skills. Again, same bonuses. I'm going to keep them, the same groupings. The only ones to fail are the ones who succeeded the lockpicking. So in terms of identification, the other 2 groups, each of the students immediately identifies the different traps and can carefully avoid them around the course. It's kind of like a simple course that you have to run through. And Morgan and the other 2 students fail to catch a couple of them. But overall, majority is going well. It's good. And the last one is the disabling. Okay. Oof. Okay, and this one, the first set of students, natural 20. They already know where the traps are, and they did a bit of a closer look as they were going through the course originally, so they kind of know already what they need to do and just swiftly disable the traps and move. The second group trip the traps completely. They all end up with just faces full of paint. One trap just spits out like black paint and the other feathers. They basically get tarred and feathered, just without the tar. And Morgan's group, flying colors. Darbus just approaches and says, well, I think that's a pass. Gotta ask you, what's it like teaching?
Certainly an experience. Kind of like it.
Seem to have a knack for it. I mean, if you ever want to switch careers, I think there are options available.
Yeah, but teaching these skills bring back memories I'd rather forget.
The good thing is, this entire vessel is a giant training and learning facility. So you've helped these seekers find perhaps a new path, new skills. Maybe there's someone out here that can help you find a new way to do things for yourself. At the very least, I could point you in a few directions if you have some idea of, what set of skills you'd prefer to have. But you have a knack for words. I did see in your profile that you were an investigative journalist.
Oh, yes, that was a cover I really enjoyed.
Maybe it's time to use your words a bit more. There are options for that. Some highly lethal ones.
I think I'd enjoy being a master orator.
We can talk about that. We move before we move. Morgan approaches you and says, "Hey, Teach. So did you check me out back there?
Yeah, you did well. You did well.
I didn't use the fucking spells.
But remember, if you need to, you now have the ability to quietly open a door, or when you really need to run like fuck, you can use that spell."
Speaking of, he looks. He says, "You know what? Ditto." And he hands you a module card, one of the old module cartridges. It says this will install a couple into your Weaver. He's basically giving you 2 new modules. I'll give you the cost later. One is called Knock Knock, and the other is called Who's There. Knock Knock allows you to cast Arcane Lock, and Who's There, Open Lock. So
Thank you, Morgan.
So it says, if I can use it, you should be able to use it too. Says, well, I'll catch you around, Teach. I got things to do, and there's some people with feathers that we need to clean up. And he starts casting prestidigitation on a few of the students to help them clean up while they all go out and celebrate the end of the exams. Errol, how was your delightful dinner?
And Errol's still dense as a brick wall, so
without noticing any intent, would you say was a pleasant time?
Yeah, I think Errol had a good time. It was good food. They chatted.
As you wake up, because usually we notice things in the past in hindsight. Make an insight check. Let's see if insight, if hindsight works for the insight.
Historically been so good at this. Come here. I need to know what my thing is. There's a little sheet.
It was a lovely dinner. It was just what you needed. You've been, it's been a few tense days, and it was nice to just hang out with someone, and someone who understands and who can, you're just having a nice time.
Didn't hear any of that.
Okay.
I froze. Everything went right.
Okay, so what I said is, no new insight. It was a nice dinner. You had fun hanging out with a potential new friend, someone who understands, the whole hullabaloo of this. And it was kind of nice just, not being involved in something, being involved in something dangerous and having someone to talk about it afterwards.
Yeah. I think in Errol's head, I feel like it's like being back at home, going for like lunch or dinner or whatever with Rotnar and
yeah, kind of like that. Yeah.
he's just stupid boy.
You are all, and by that I mean everyone but the broken toy, are summoned to the bridge. The captain wants to see you. Will, to you, essentially like a tablet. It's just a simple. It's like a Weaver, but just made for communications. No modules on it, but it's essentially a tablet with like a Zoom call, or the equivalent communications technology. Is placed in front of you, and it shows the bridge.
Oh, what sort of reality TV bullshit is this?
And turning to look at the camera and you is the captain. It says, I'm sorry, are you displeased?
No, I am broken.
Yes, but you still have a voice. That's the only thing I care about right now.
Awesome.
And as she says this, the door opens and your companions come in. I have not really fully described the captain. The captain is about a 6'8", just tall as fuck, drow woman, with shaved sides, and that's what the hair is very long in a ponytail that goes up and then down. She is wearing like old 70s style bell bottom pants, sandals, and a sleeveless shirt with the phrasing says, "Don't eat the rich, eat me." And RaQui has frozen. Okay, now she's back. Yeah, the captain, as I said, has a sleeveless shirt that says, "Don't eat the rich, eat me." And over the shoulders has something like almost like a classic, let's say 18th century, admiral's kind of coat, that style of military navy coat. She has over the shoulders, but it carries it more like a cape. Well, welcome back. Just to get it out of the way, you may have forgotten something in the place where you found my dear blood-fused assassin. Something of a bomb. Kind of went out 10 minutes after we all left. Took out 2 blocks. In power. It's a disruption bomb, but still.
Errol looks at Olo and RaQui and sort of in the back of his head is thinking, I'm pretty sure I was blind for most of that fight. There was a bomb and no one told me? Doesn't say it, just is thinking it, standing there looking very...
Yeah. You have no memory of that. You maybe have a memory of something ticking, but beyond that, no. There's anywho... Normally, I would dock your pay, but I'm not paying you, so, I'm here to continue our conversation from yesterday.
I have a question. Are you going to be docking my drugs right now?
They're already in your system. Can't do anything about them.
Just checking because they feel really good.
I know.
Notices Will.
Yeah, you see like a small screen, and Will is in traction on a bed, looking high. Still kind of lucid though. Just very content with where she is. So I wanted to follow up on your recommendations. She snaps a finger and another screen turns on, and it's a cell, and the person in question is chained in the cell. So, you recommended prison. Good. But you were kind of talking amongst yourselves about things you wanted to happen that you kind of didn't share with the rest of the group. So, let's talk about those. What happens to him, according to your vision?
He stays behind bars and he gets punished.
That's one I agree with quite a lot. Anyone else?
He serves his time. He comes out. He doesn't do any more crime. We leave him alone. If he does, we make him regret it.
Plan to the future. Anyone else?
Can't just be left in, solitary or whatever forever. There has to be something in place to.
You speak up, Nate. You're very low.
Can't just be left in a cell for the foreseeable, because then nothing changes. Eventually he gets let out and he does all this again, and then we come back here, and this time he doesn't get put into jail. There has to be some work done. There has to be something in place that gives him a chance to do better. Maybe he'll never redeem himself. Maybe he'll never be able to be let back out in society. But there has to be something to make that judgment on.
But then if you're
It's not
saying
safe
that,
to just let him out with nothing.
but if you're saying that, then you're just wasting all that effort on him, Errol.
No, it's not. Not if he can change. People can change. People can realize that evil's not the only thing in the world.
The captain looks like it's evil. We're not talking philosophy here, little man. We're talking people's lives.
Murder's pretty evil.
You've killed to survive, haven't you?
That's exactly my point. Evil's not the only way.
Where would you start? Where would you start treating him?
I don't.
You're the one making the recommendation, so speak
Yeah,
up.
and I was shot down by the rest of my friends, so
I'm not asking them, I'm asking you, and I'm the goddamn skipper. My voice is law! So speak up.
It starts off with these reasonings. We already know what they are. He thinks this is a vengeance ploy, right? You killed one of their family members, and now they're throwing their lives.
Killed several of them.
Yeah, but because they were throwing their lives at you for that first one, right?
Do you even?
So it's just a perpetual cycle.
Do you even
madness?
Do you
Absolutely madness.
You don't even understand it, do you? You cannot put yourself in his place and understand why this family would do this, do you?
So tell me.
I asked you a question, I expect an answer.
Look, if you lose someone that you love, I get it. I do. I understand conceptually. That doesn't go away. It's not something that you just, I don't know, therapize out of someone. You don't do that. But people have lost people. People have had relatives murdered. There has to be a line of thinking that brought them to this line of actions where hundreds of people are being killed in the crossfire. It's the root. You have to find the root and figure out from there. Like I said, not everybody can be saved. I get that. I'm just saying I'm not equipped necessarily to make that call in this instance, so I didn't.
How wonderful your life must be. How full of roses and rainbows. Absolutely. If you don't understand hatred, if you don't understand the need to make someone pay. You're right. You're not equipped for this. In fact, I realize you have lived so little. You're not equipped for this kind of work at all. Let's make it known as of right now, Errol is banned from working in the support area until such a time when he has lived enough that he can understand and truly empathize with those he seeks to help. Because until then, the only thing you're offering them is empty words and platitudes. But I'll give you a little bit of help along the way. And she extends her hand and says, take my hand.
He'll take it.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. DC 20.
Oh no, I have a +0, so 17.
17. And we have not been given any bonuses to spend, so sadly, no help on that regard. Errol, you are filled from the bottom of your shoes, the soles of your feet, to the top of the pointy horns, with an emotion that is alien to you. But as it fills you and makes you shake, you start to shake in her hand, and a part of you wants to take the hand away. She grips it tightly. You are filled with a flood of memories. And beyond the memories, the memories are just a barrage of images without any sense, without any coherence. But there is one emotion present in them. Well, a few emotions: rage, loss, sadness, and a deep well of hatred that you, at the end, you want to just scream because you don't For you cannot find a reasonable outlet for it. Because you failed the save, which was fairly high, you have no way of compartmentalizing this. So we'll do you a mercy and say Errol drops. Drops to the ground. A sudden, just mental shock. You take... You take 11 points of psychic damage. And Errol drops immediately. Errol, I will tell you, once you wake up, you will rationalize and realize these emotions are not yours. But the memory of them will never leave you. This is now part of you. And understanding it and coming to terms with it, that is something you'll have to figure out on your own. This is the gift, so to speak, that you have been given. Gift of eventual understanding. The captain turns to you. What is your reaction the moment? Because Errol goes tense. Does Errol scream at any moment before dropping? Or does he make any other reaction after taking that hand?
No, I think he took her. The thing is, he took her hand knowing something was about to happen. He wasn't entirely sure what, so he was prepared. I think he just clenched his jaw and tried to process the flood of incoming information, but it's just too much. But just clench the jaw so there's no sound. His whole body just tenses, like accepting it. He didn't think she was going to hurt him. He felt like this was an offer of some sort.
What is your reaction when Errol drops?
I'm going forward to make sure that he's still alive.
Make a medicine check.
$24.
He is very much alive. He is unconscious. He does have a temperature, running a fever. So, from what you can guess, likely some form of mental attack, something, and just overwhelmed him, and he dropped. Just lost consciousness.
I'm just going to look up at the captain. Can I do another check to see if I can tell whether or not what the captain's just done to him? Like, has she just been an arse for the sake of being an arse, or is there like something behind it?
Make an insight check.
Both.
16.
She is not looking at you. She's still looking at him, and there is a sense of determination in her gaze. Like, it's just a steely gaze focused on him. You're fairly certain this was not an asshole move. There is a point to this.
Okay.
It may seem an asshole move. And like, from the reaction, may have been a bit too intense. You don't know, but there seems to be a point.
I am just going to stay down by Errol to help him when he eventually comes round.
I'll have someone take him to the infirmary.
I want to see RaQui pick Errol up. All 7 feet of him.
Yeah, just
We all know how that will go.
Just put ropes on his extremities and just airlift him. What about Olo?
Airlift him.
What about Olo?
Olo just watches. I'm not moving him.
Will, any reaction from you? Yay!
It's just like and I just like giggle without meaning to because like something just tickled her.
Hey, Errol, you are in. You're unconscious, and as you're unconscious, your mind is still trying to process things. But you are seeing. You see it. You're trapped in a dream. And in the dream, you see the assassin. But this time, the person he's killing or trying to kill is not the captain. In fact, you see yourself as a cop putting cuffs on him and taking him, and it's a moment where you're alone with him. Like, it's just you and him in transition to the station. Or even before that, it's like you're just caught him. But there's a body on the ground, and it's your husband who's been brutally murdered by this assassin. And you have this impression now. You know you're armed. And this feels real in this moment because you're not aware it's a dream. So you're seeing this and you're experiencing it. And you're kind of lucid. And this feels real. Like your husband is just dead and has been killed by this individual. So you will be feeling whatever it is you're feeling. Perhaps some of that hatred that you have experienced may find its way in there. But you are presented with an option, maybe. Just to get this feeling of choice. And the choice is what happens to him now. To the person in chains in front of you.
Again, I think there's just a solid. there's a long pause where he's just processing where he is and what's just happened, and his eyes are on his husband. They're just looking at Corin, and there's that.
You know for certain in your heart of hearts that Corin did not go peacefully. He did not go easily. Much like the victim of this assassin in the real world, this was meant to hurt. You see 3 paths before you. 1, a series of events that end with this person in jail forever. Another path where he doesn't make it to jail. Where you give in to whatever dark thoughts are in your mind right now. Whatever feeling of inflicting pain as you are likely feeling right now. There's a third path that shows a third sequence of events where this person goes to jail and eventually comes out the other end different. Perhaps not better, perhaps not worse, just a different individual, rejoining whatever nebulous form of community lies at the other end.
Well, there's a long pause where he's just not sure what he's seeing, and you know that paralyzed grief before he even processes those options and realizes what's happening, or at least that there are choices presented to him.
You have the feeling you have all the time in the world.
And as he's thinking, his hands are just holding this guy tighter and tighter, almost in that like he's just holding him, like to the point of it feels pretty crushing, but he's not hurting him in a lasting way. And then he finally is just like, Corin, not being in this world anymore is a loss that the world might not recover from, that I might not recover from, and that you have the chance to do better from. And if you don't, you stay thinking about that man's face for the rest of your life, and know that you're alive because of him, because he's a better man than you. And if you ever even think about hurting anyone, you will find out what losing him does to me. And he just looks at that sort of redemption path and prays to Baldre that it is the right choice, knowing that he's never asked the gods to solve his problems for him. He finds comfort in that he was given that second chance by her, and that she doesn't guide him down the wrong path. And he'll take that initial step and pause, and if it feels right, he'll keep moving down that path.
There is no feeling. This is your choice.
Yeah, but he takes no feeling as it's not being guided wrong, so he keeps moving. He's not a cleric. He doesn't speak to the gods. He just has to have faith.
Walk and send the assassin down this path. And as he's walking down it, he fades. And everything else fades. You feel almost like a pat on your shoulder. And you wake up.
God.
You wake up
crying.
you wake up a few hours later. You're all in the infirmary. I'm guessing you followed Errol as he was taken there. You are now, lying next to Will in another bed. Will has been taken off traction now. So it's just usual, just casts, which will come off at the end of the day. But you wake up, and I'll leave it to you.
He's just crying, man. He's not looking at anybody. If there's people in the room, he doesn't see anyone. He's just looking straight at the ceiling. Like, full of grief. It's not occurred to him that maybe that was those two events haven't lined up yet.
You see Errol just crying in his bed as he wakes up.
Just gonna put a hand on his shoulder. When you're ready.
Ready for what?
Olu's noticed that there's a bit of dust in the corner that he's really interested in. And he's like gonna stare at that for a bit.
Yeah, shuffle off of the outside of the uncomfortable thing.
Ready for what? What?
You know what?
No, remind me what happened.
The captain did some weird shit to you.
When she says that, it clicks that that very real thing you have just gone through is not real. It was maybe your mind trying to process these alien emotions and just barrage of anger and hatred that you graciously received. But no, it wasn't real.
Okay, I'm okay. He'll like sits up in that really creepy way.
Yeah, you undertake her up.
I need you to just one more time. She did something, and I ended up here.
So she asked you to take her hand, right?
Yeah, I figured she was trying to teach me something.
You took her hand. You took her hand, froze for a moment, and then dropped.
I think she was trying to share the hate.
Well, as you say it, and your mind goes to recover that moment where you took her hand, you know exactly. You have full on memory of everything that went through you, from her. And it's for a single life, as you define the length of a life, it's a heartbreaking amount, or even soul-shattering amount of loss, anger, and rage, and all wrapped up in a big ball of hatred that even as you feel it, even though you had this dream to kind of help you with it, it is still difficult to process. Still too fresh and too raw for you.
She was trying to teach me about hate. I'm not sure those of us who don't live as long as elves in general do. are equipped to process that much of a lifetime, let alone that much pain. That's what hate is. From the limited understanding that I have of it, having just processed a fraction of what was shared. But I had a weird dream that I don't know if that had anything to do with her.
Well, it sounds like it's one hell of a way of teaching somebody a lesson. What was the dream?
Wiped his face finally. I was holding our guy, our assassin, and I knew it didn't feel like a dream. It feels like a dream now. I was as if I just ran and caught this guy the same way I'd ran down the stairs earlier, yesterday. I turned and it wasn't the captain on the floor or some, I don't know, civilian. That's not terrible, but it was Corin.
Oh, God.
When there are things you just know. I mean, obviously you get that at least, when you see a body, there are things you just know. And all of that emotion that she shared suddenly had meaning in a way that I kind of knew but couldn't really understand. Or maybe it's just my mind trying to process everything that she showed me, but I got this sense that there was like a path or several, and I had to make a choice, and it took ages, and I wanted very badly to get revenge, I guess, to make him hurt the way I was hurting, and kind of occurred to me that doesn't solve anything. It doesn't really make the pain stop. It doesn't make Corin come back to me. It just makes the next person hurt. Like, we've just taken this guy in. This guy is not even the first or the last of this family that are going to throw themselves at this, right? Each time one of them throws themselves at it and gets murdered or killed in self-defense, the next one gets hurt and they come back again. It's just, I realize things are cyclical. Pain is just never ending. So why perpetuate that cycle if you can have a chance to stop it? But I mean, I wasn't exactly, here, go be rehabilitated. It was very much a threat. You sort your shit out or I don't offer this to you again, because I realize now what losing people that you love does, what it makes you think, what it makes you feel, at least in the briefest sense. And I think the willingness to do harm, to exact vengeance, to make people suffer in a way that you wouldn't normally, that's where that comes from. At least that's what was in my head. It wasn't an unwillingness to do it. It was a choice that maybe instead of making the next person hurt, I could stop it. I think that's still naive, maybe, but that's the choice I made.
And under the circumstances, it's a choice that a lot of people probably wouldn't make. Are you
I'm
okay?
thinking, no, I'm just now thinking what Corin might have wanted. Would he want me to make someone suffer? I don't think so, but
Why don't you give him a call? Because maybe talking to him and just confirming that it was just a dream might help you process it a bit better.
yeah. Did the captain give us anything else to do next?
No, it pretty much just ended when you collapsed on the floor.
How'd I get back here? Did you? You didn't get me back here.
No, people came in and brought you here.
The captain was nice enough to make sure that you were moved here.
Yeah, she wasn't. It wasn't a. When she held her hand out, I didn't get the impression she was trying to hurt me.
I know. A harsh lesson, but I think
she's kind of
certainly. Yeah, I don't think any of us have particularly made friends with her. We'll see what happens.
I'm not sure she. I don't know. I'd be interested to meet any friends she does have.
A very hard individual, that's for sure. What she's trying to achieve with what she did, who knows? But she's definitely, there's something there that she wants to achieve by doing what she's done.
Well, I don't necessarily think she'll like my choice, so maybe I just won't tell her. I'm going to call my husband now.
Call Corin, get some rest.
Gets up and pats RaQui on the shoulder as he goes. Looks over to Will. You are still feeling? Yeah, good. We don't jump out of any more windows, okay?
Okay.
Well, as you're laying there and everyone leaves, I'm guessing, are you all leaving after Errol leaves?
I've got a few tissues that are dirty from the dirt I cleaned up.
Oh. I pat Olo as I go.
You pat him or you pet him since he's smaller?
I pat him, but it probably is more patting his head. He's so small.
Olo gives him proper side eye.
That's how you get shanked. As everyone leaves,
Olo's
Will...
kind of a little sass all the time, so you can get a pat on the head sometimes.
Very true. Will, as you're there laying, a package comes for you from kind of everyone in like the cooking area.
Aww.
It's an apple pie.
Oh.
And that's where we're gonna take our 10-minute break.
Apple pies.
Yes. We'll be back in 10 minutes with the rest of our story. Go stretch, drink something, and if you're in the UK, God, drink something. We'll be back in 10 with the rest. Everything just. We'll be back in a bit. Weird times. And we're back. So we left off with Will enjoying an apple pie, Olo leaving an uncomfortable situation, RaQui possibly returning to bother a few more bodies, and Errol about to make a call. Do you make said call?
Yes.
You ring and here. Hello. Who's
Hey.
this?
Hey, it's me.
Hey, babe. It's a bit late.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, something odd just happened, and I just needed to make sure.
Nate, I need you to pick the voice up, please.
Sorry, it's late. I just had a weird something weird happened, and I just needed to make sure you were okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm tired. I'm pulling all-nighters. Close to finishing projects. You know how it gets crazy. But yeah, I'm fine. What's up? You sound something happened?
Isn't something always happening? No, I mean there was a case. It went fine. Well, it didn't really go fine. Well, we caught the guy. I just had a weird, I don't know, dream, vision. Someone gave me a pretty psychic whammy, and it wasn't great. It was pretty horrific, and I just needed to know that it was just in my head.
I'm okay, and I mean, I will say that you went away to be a seeker, and you're working a case. Okay.
It's not lost on me either.
You know, if that's the work you're going to be doing, I don't see why you can't do it here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this was a pretty one-off. I don't think this is the general way things get done. It wasn't even. You remember RaQui?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she got asked to help out, and I guess she just needed my help.
Okay. So do you know when you're coming home?
No, no, but I was supposed to be asking this, and then like people turned up dead, so that kind of took precedent for a minute.
At least you called the guy.
Well, yeah, but I've got a. I never thought about some of the decisions you've got to make that were never in my. Well, they just weren't ever mine to make. I just did things by the book, but I want to come home pretty soon, because I miss you, and I don't feel necessarily all that good being so far away from you all the time. But yeah, something that this vision. I need you to know that you're my. You're still everything. And if you really wanted me to come home, if that's what you really wanted and that's what you told me, I'd stop. I don't know what I do.
There's a breath and there's, don't put that on me, Errol.
I'm not. I just mean.
Errol, listen to me very closely. Do I want you here? Of course I do. I hate coming to this fucking empty flat. You know, there's only so many dinners I can have with your mother and your dad where I just want to be on my own. But I have already watched you work at a job where you don't necessarily like what you do. And I'm not going to be responsible for you coming back and just be miserable and regret it. Don't put that on me. Because if you truly ask me if I want you to drop everything and come back, I'm not sure I can tell you to stay.
Hey. You talked to me a little bit on the phone last time about I don't know, future, family. I've been thinking, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how long I have to be here, or I don't know. I haven't got everything figured out, but I told you I was going to think about it, and I'm thinking about it, and I felt real sure. I don't know how. I don't even know how long it's been. I was out for like a couple of hours, I guess. But I was real sure that you were gone, and I don't know. I just put things into perspective, and I feel like I'm trying to make things better for a reason. But you, I don't know, trying to make the world better is a whole grand thing, but it's not really the purpose of this. It's just to make things better so that you and I can stop at some point, right? And do those things, have a family, have each other, and not worry about the rest of the world for a bit.
We had this talk before, and at least from my point of view right now, it's just not the right time for me.
Yeah. I don't.
There's things I want to do before you and I, get to that place, and I'm still not there.
Hey, me too. I don't even know where, and I don't know. I don't want you to ever think I'm not serious or thinking about you or missing you, because God knows I am always.
Good. I expect you to.
You should get some sleep. I'll oh God, now I have to go speak to the captain. I'm gonna go.
I don't know what that means, but yeah, I'll go back to sleep. What you should do is just go get some air, clear your head, because you're kind of rambling.
I love you.
Love you too. And he hangs up. Where do you go from here?
I mean, Errol makes throws a text at the others to just say, hope you're all okay. If you're doing anything, let me know. If not, I'll be. Is there a church here?
There are many temples, yes.
It's where Errol goes when he's not feeling super sure on his feet. That's where he goes.
You sit at the church and, contemplate the nature of existence. And you hear a voice that says, oh no, she's done it again. You turn and Roderick is there looking at you with a shocked face. She's pushed another one into the clergy. Don't tell me you're turning priest.
Oh, Jesus. No, I think I'm technically banned from a lot of things right now.
No, just from doing therapy, which, might be a good thing since you kind of pissed off half of the courier crew by telling them they're worried about the fluffy side of things.
Yeah, not my best. So, no,
I mean, fortunately, you're in Reverend Day, a city of seekers, so work is always available. And, might be best to give one of you to start getting used to the actual work we do. Just, fulfill tasks.
Yeah. I think I'm more of a, well, I thought I was more of a hands-on, get down to the action kind of guy, but
Oh, that is what we do.
maybe I...
Our get down and hands to the action just means sometimes is pursue this criminal. Sometimes is my cat is stuck on a tree. Some of the time is there is a monster in the highway obstructing travel. Go exterminate it. That's what we do. Everything and in between. Sometimes we get lucky and can, put some corrupt military official behind bars, but those don't come that often.
You know what the no, it's all right. I think I have to ask the guy currently in charge of our training. What are the chances that there are I don't know, holiday requests right now?
Oh, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah, I kind of had
training period for seekers is an extensive thing. From here, you're getting, let's just say this is basic training. From here, you go into your internship, which is likely you'll be sent to a city somewhere and work there for a spell. After that, once you're a full-fledged, trained member and, proving yourself a bit, you'll then get the freedom to pick where you work.
I had a feeling it was going to be a while before I could go home.
I mean, you've been here, what, a month or two?
Yeah.
I don't see any holidays in your future for the next year. Fortunately, only maybe another couple of months will be in this, let's call it undisclosed location. After that, you'll be in a place out there in the world where presumably someone can come visit.
Yeah. Okay, that's something. Do you know where we're going to be?
I'm not in charge of that, no. Well, what's up? You sound a bit worried. Anything come up? If I may ask, of course.
Sure, yeah. The captain kind of did a whammy. I didn't know what I was going to expect when I took that hand, but it wasn't that. saw some not particularly wanted visions.
Right?
Just reminded me how much I miss my husband, and he's pretty mad that I'm not able to go back.
Make
for a
an
bit
insight check. Let's see if third time's the charm.
Roll. It's a 3. Wait, my insight is +4, I think.
So I'm gonna guess, yeah, that's a no. No, he's there intently listening to you.
7. Solid 7.
Yeah.
Better than a natural 1.
Yeah, much better, but not that much.
Do you know what the thing is? I think I've had some really good insight check rolls, and I've had some really bad ones. Errol's either like, I get this, or like, I get this. No in
Sure.
between.
Okay, so with your husband, and do you want to go back? I'm guessing.
Yeah, we are both. I'd say we have always been kind of. You don't need to.
No, you've already started talking, and I'm already curious. Finish it.
We're just both really we always were career orientated. He is just probably the smartest man I've ever met, maybe that anybody would ever meet. And
I take offense to that. I'm fairly clever, but anywho, continue.
I don't know. I just always felt pretty lucky that he said yes to any of my really probably awkward advances.
Lad, you should give yourself a bit more credit. Just saying.
I don't know. I don't want him to. I just don't want him to be gone by the time I can go home.
If I may ask, what does he do?
Does Errol know?
Yeah, he's a
Errol's fairly confident.
He's a researcher in the filament technology, yeah.
What does he normally tell people?
He's a researcher of filament technology at the Media Foundation. Fairly prestigious.
He'll tell him that.
He goes, all right. This may be me stepping over a line, and if it does, I apologize, but I gotta tell you, you're working to dedicate your life to something that directly helps people, sometimes saving their goddamn lives. You know, it may be just a fucking kitty on a tree, but it's a very important kitty on a tree. And saving people on a daily basis from things where the police often can't get involved or won't. There are places where they just won't. There are places in the world where people come to us to help them solve things because they know the fucking cops won't do shit.
Errol smirks because he doesn't know if this man knows he used to be a cop.
Same for military and politicians. Seekers, we work out to help people. Forgive me for saying this, but if we take the work you're going to be doing versus the work your husband does, which can be done all over the world in many prestigious organizations and companies, it seems like a phenomenal load of bollocks that it's you who has to sacrifice. And it seems it seems more a matter of convenience than anything. Though that's my outsider's perspective.
Um, I appreciate that.
I've taken up enough of your time. I'll leave you here with the gods and your whatever. If you're joining, the convent or whatever, I'll leave you to it.
Priesthood. I'll be a nun. That's what I'm going to try out next.
You'll look beautiful in the habit. When you're done, just give me a call if you want to grab a bite. And he goes.
In Errol's head, the thing is, he's like, I like him.
I'm not going to say anything. What is going on with the rest of you? RaQui?
I'm just going to reply to Errol's message with a couple of emojis. One of a person and the other of a knife. So that Errol knows
she's killing people.
Yeah, Errol's like, etc. It takes him a minute. Okay, calm. There's a lot of that, like Errol is typing, and then you just get a thumbs
up. I've gone back to finish up in the morgue.
You're working in the morgue, and you get a text message that with an attached photo. The photo is a desk with a mountain of paperwork, and it's a message from Volderies that says, "We have finally cleared the hole."
Oh, yay! I'm gonna send like a celebratory like hat and flowy thingy back to him and just be like, oh, that's amazing. How did it all go?
Fairly smoothly, and some manner of closure was given to people. You see all this in the text message. Some deceased were not reported, as they were already, the people in charge kind of figured, the people had already been reported dead for some cause, and informing their loved ones that they in fact had not died of this cause, but this more horrific one, was deemed really unnecessary. But for most part, everything, pretty much most of the staff, including him, are taking long deserved vacations. Balderies is taking a cruise. He tells you you're going to be out on a cruise on the ethereal sea, which for him is like going home.
Mm-hmm.
And he just wishes you the best and hopes to see you soon.
I'm just going to reply and be like, thank you for everything. It was a pleasure working with you. Enjoy your cruise. You've absolutely earned it. And hope to see you too soon, although hopefully not in a similar capacity to the previous occasion.
He sends a smiley face, but it's a smiley Gith Yankee face. Because emojis here do have ancestries in them. You get a smiley album face. As you seeing these messages, you turn and look at the mirror and suddenly see your mother standing behind you.
Jump.
You jump and squawk and turn, and she's not there.
I look back in the mirror.
She's not there. But what strikes you is the look. The face you saw was your mother's, But your mother, as always, we've said she is a bit of a dry, cold person. This image was smiling at you. A warm, loving smile that the last time you saw this was when your dad just showed up and said, "Hey, I'm leaving your mother."
I'm gonna go find one of the other coroners and just be like, yeah, I'm going now.
Okay. I mean, you weren't even supposed to be in here in the first place, because they kind of gave you, pretty much given you the day off after working the actual case, so they're fairly fine with you leaving.
Yeah, just be like, sure. I wanted to help, but maybe I'm a bit tired, more tired than I thought I was. I'm gonna head to my other favorite place. I'm gonna head to the library. To see whether or not I can find anything about ghosts, passengers, people attached, just anything that kind of resembles what the hell is going on.
As you arrive, you see that the head librarian, which in this place is a dwarven woman. She's dressed in almost like a Sunday dress. Though you see that behind her is like a scribe's tool set, like hanging on the wall. A few awards and a giant fucking great hammer. The great hammer just inscribed in runes, top to bottom. He's oh, hello, dear. It's been a few days since we've seen you. Her name is Margot Windchime.
Oh.
And she sounds like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Amazing. Hi, Margot. Yeah, sorry, I was doing some business for the captain, so I've not been around for a few days. Have you ever come across any books that
I've come across many books.
Well, yes. Any books that have history or lore relating to individuals who have a passenger or a ghost or a spirit attached to them?
She thinks on it for a moment. Says, I think that a few tomes that could help you. I'll have someone help you collate them and help you with investigation. And she claps us, goes, I don't know where you are, you little cloud. Mentra, come here.
Oh, yay.
And a storm cloud just floats down. And this goth genasi appears and just looks at you and is about to smile, then catches herself, and then just glares at both of you.
Hey, Mentra. I'll grab us a coffee in a bit.
You do that. Oh, you know each other already. Mentra goes, What? What do you need to do? Have you finished organizing things? Yes, alphabetically, dimensionally, and extraplanary. Good. That's good enough for your first day, I suppose. Anywho, I'd like you to help this young lady find some books on ghosts and people who are have spirits attached to them. You should know which sections to go to. The more esoteric ones down in the subsection 1, 4th labyrinth. She looks up, and again, up above you is just an MC Escher nightmare of bookcases in all sorts of angles. And Minza goes, and just looks at you, and make an insight check.
15.
She is desperately trying to hide it, and so wraps the fact that she is genuinely happy to see you, wraps it in a very thick layer of Mintra disdain. Goes, I'm so happy to see you. And turns into a cloud and flies away. Make your investigation check with advantage, because you have an assistant librarian helping you out.
Yay, Mentra. Oh, that was actually really nice. Investigation, yeah?
Yeah.
26.
26. Whew. You find a bunch of tomes, and with the 26, I'll tell you, traditionally, someone who has a ghost attached is someone the spirit is linked to by family, friendship, and it's usually tied to a form of protection. You know, the ghost is put on the person as a form of protection against, you know, supernatural entity, or let's call it post-mortem entities. Sometimes the spirit attaches to them because they're tied to their purpose, to the thing keeping them here. There are cases where living people have had their souls attached to others in the form of a curse. There are instances where emotional trauma creates a separation between the body and the soul. And it is a situation where the person is alive, is walking, but their soul is not in their body, but following them outside, in just with the faintest form of connection between them, almost like an umbilical cord. And there's with what you know, without the 26, because it was a lot. Another piece of information you have is that pretty often when it comes to spiritual matters, inheritance or heritage plays a part in it. So if your parent had a ghost attached from a curse or something, and and they perish or something happens to them, the curse continues down the line. So it falls on the next one.
Okay.
What you do also find, and it's a confirmation, is that individuals with extraneous entities attached to them have a deeper connection to the plane of existence that entity is linked to. So if it's a ghost, you have a deeper connection to death. Not death as in the sense of people die around you or you're surrounded in death, but no, you have a connection, almost, it's part of you to be connected to the planes of death. It could, if it would be easier for you to travel and communicate with entities of those planes than for a regular person.
Okay.
For example, if you had a fae attached to you, you would be able to communicate and interact with most kinds of fairies and travel to the Feywild and back without suffering the usual consequences. Though you realize this tome you read is fairly ancient, because it's still referred to things as the fairy world as the Feywild, and not the dreaming as is known in your era.
Okay.
But for the most part, it is in terms of solutions, it is a case of finding the root cause, because if it's an attached entity because of some form of trauma, from a separation from the entity and the original body, that's one thing that, the solution is more therapeutic, like find what happened and try to, coax the spirit to move beyond or go where they should. If it's a curse, it's, identify the elements of the curse and break them. In any case, you have like an investigatory task ahead of you in terms of finding out, likely, because it's your mom, likely will need to find out things about her own family or her own life to determine what happened in her case.
Yeah. Okay.
You do realize, I will give you another piece of information that's critical. This entity that has been attached to you can be exorcised. It can be forcibly removed. But it's not clear. It's written from the point of view of this being an unwelcome attachment. And so the methods described are from the point of view of removing and destroying. Not necessarily just disconnecting or removing and moving somewhere else. So likely not that much help to you.
Yeah.
But you do know that if push comes to shove, someone can exercise you and remove this thing.
Yeah.
You do actually know, in fact, that if someone with enough knowledge and know-how of the proceedings, they can do it even if you don't want to. But, it's the kind of thing where a ritual is required. So if you're not on board, it's not going to be easy to get you, to be still for the duration.
Yeah.
And in those cases, unwillingness likely it leads more to the death of both the host and the spirit if, you're trying to resist it. Not to mention that exorcism in general are very dangerous for the host. And that's what you get with your 26. A whole lot of info.
I'm just gonna chill in the library with Mentra for a bit and kind of process.
Olo, you get a visit from Darbus. Comes in and says, so our last conversation of the day, you said you were looking into, acquiring a new set of skills, perhaps, changing things up. There is something coming up that is, I think, the perfect place for you to take a look at a wide category of different skill sets and their applications. And maybe they'll help you figure out what you want to do moving forward. There is a little, let's call it unofficial, tournament. It's an arena. Every member of the Accord at some point has tried their best to get rid of it, but people want to fight. We give them we let it happen and just put some rules in place behind the scenes. But we kind of maintain the illusion that it's, underground and people are being dangerous and rebellious, whatever. I would like for you and your friends to participate. There's a nice reward at the end. Not just money, but we have, let's call it a special guest, creating some custom bits of tech for the winners. And it will be a great place for you to see what else is out there to offer. Who knows, you might even run into your own students and see yourself facing them now that you've taught them so much about you. Anywho, it's up to you. I won't force any of you to do it. But if you're interested, it is a way forward.
I'm certainly interested. I'll see if I can convince the others.
And he leaves. What else does Olo do for that day?
He goes back to his book.
Back to his book of Esquire. And the day passes. Will, the next day, you are discharged. You are free to go and go about your business. Errol, you stay in the church and sleep there on the bench. Eventually, you're kicked out and sent back home. And you are all in this shared house that you have acquired while you're here. And meet each other over breakfast, which I'm going to assume Will is cooking.
Yeah. A
And
little slower than normal.
let's have you make a performance check. You can replace charisma with dexterity if you want. See how well you do. Or actually, no. You let's straight up make a chef's tools, like a chef's utensils roll. You have that proficiency. So it's going to be your proficiency plus your let's go either intelligence or dexterity, whichever you prefer.
Dexterity, let's go for that.
Okay. So dexterity and proficiency.
That is it. Proficiency. Can't find my proficiency. Where is it?
At the top of your character sheet.
Should be a 2 or 3.
+3. Yes, +3. Okay, so dirty 20.
I'll leave it to you to describe what you cook.
Beans on toast.
No, I'm not beans on toast. I'm gonna do a stack of pancakes with like some maple butter, some like cooked apples, and like drizzled, kind of like an apple pie-esque thing, but like with pancakes and cinnamon.
Apple pie on the brain.
I had a really good apple pie, okay?
Okay.
And like some powdered sugar as well.
Awesome. You put everybody in a diabetic coma after breakfast, but
Yes.
you are all there gathered together with, drinks and juices and everything that you have for your breakfast. And I'll leave it to you if you want to have a scene together or not.
You know, the one thing that I hated about being in hospital?
There's more than one thing to hate about being in hospital.
Yes, there are multiple things. Like the fact that you can't, like, touch your toes to itch them because they're in cast. Or
That's not a problem with being in hospital. That's a problem with jumping off a building and breaking both your arms.
Yeah, I'm with Olo. I've been in hospital
He's
and
got
been
a
able
point.
to touch my toes.
that wasn't the thing that I was going to complain about. You just said, is there more than one thing? And I was like, yes, that was an example. No, the thing I really, really did not like about being in the hospital was I couldn't have decent food unless someone brought it to me.
Okay.
And so this is your vengeance meal.
Yes.
I mean,
That
not
and
complaining.
like, because it was great being like hooked up to machines with like things that took away the pain. And
Well, I'm going to need you to just promise us you're not going to jump out of any more windows.
I can't promise you that. What?
It's just not. It's not something I thought I would have to ask, and then you didn't even give me the answer I was expecting you to give me. And now I worry about you.
You didn't before?
Well, at least before I knew, at least she wasn't a danger to herself.
I'm not a danger to myself. I'm a danger to whoever I'm chasing.
No,
And
I'm
yourself.
pretty sure you did more damage to yourself.
You didn't think that she was a danger to herself. This is the person that ignored advice, went to visit her family, and we had to go rescue her as her van was being chased by crazy biker people.
But I mean, in fairness, she didn't know there were crazy biker people.
No, but Raki's got a good point.
Why are you? Nope. I'm leaving that. It's on the. It's tabled. It's done.
Does anyone want any bacon with their pancake? I should have
Yes,
offered.
please.
Okay.
I will not say no.
I'm gonna fry some bacon
Errol
And
starts on his
eggs.
second stack of pancakes.
and some eggs.
Plenty
Poached,
of
fried, or scrambled.
Yes.
Just give her a chance
Yeah.
to lay 'em.
Okay, fine. I'll just do all of them. That's fine.
So how much does these groceries cost?
Mm. Pittance.
An amount of money.
We could probably buy some quality ingredients if we earned some more money. And
These are not quality ingredients. These are just ingredients.
exactly, we could probably have a better breakfast. You could probably make a really good apple pie with some really exotic apples if we had a lot more gold.
That is very true.
And I may know somewhere where we could make a lot more gold.
I had a feeling you were selling us something. All right.
I've come into information about a arena tournament.
Went full on mechanical there.
You're dialing up.
I may have come into information about an arena tournament where not only is there prize money, but also tech prizes.
Oh, okay. Do you care to elaborate any more further, or is that the only information you know? Also, did you want eggs as well?
Oh, I always want eggs.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's the,
It's fighting. Some of my students might be there, so it might be able to be nice to show them that an old dog can learn new tricks. and beat them to a pulp.
Not going to touch that one. Didn't we hear about this tournament thing before?
When?
Am I wrong? Maybe I just heard someone mention it. All right. Well, if everybody, what
My
are the rules?
memory
Do we
is
do
just
this
very
ourselves? Is this a
foggy.
singular combat? Is this a
As a group, it's a group combat. Hence why I'm coming to you guys.
combat?
You trust us with your backs?
No, but I want money, so
I mean, Olo, you've threatened to murder me several times now, but so far, on all of the occasions you could have, you didn't. So I'm going to assume that you're more bark than bite.
I've murdered you exactly 0 times.
Exactly. Right.
I'm turning over a new leaf.
If you want some help to win this tournament, why not? I'm not doing anything else.
I'm going to come back to the table with bacon and eggs of different varieties.
There's some really weird purple eggs and green bacon. Smells delicious, but just weird.
Just anything.
So, Will, do you want to beat some people up?
Yeah, of course I do.
RaQui, do you want to make some dead bodies? You probably won't be able to actually kill them, but
Yeah, I'd like to know that for sure. This isn't some kind of weird to the death fight club or something.
no, I've been told that it's underground, but only because they got fed up of trying to hunt down where it was being hidden. So it's an unofficial official arena.
Okay,
So-
got it.
Let me just get this straight. You want me to go into an arena and intentionally fight people when I'm not even strong enough to stay flying when somebody jumps on me? What part of that makes any sense?
The part where he's asking you if you want to.
The money makes sense. Maybe you could buy yourself
Sure.
some new scalpels.
Sure. Or I could just, wait for the
Watch.
dead bodies to be provided from the safety of the stand where I can watch this happen and not participate and potentially die, and still earn money because, somebody's got to deal with that.
Oh, you mean like betting on us?
No. Just watching from a distance, not getting involved.
Betting isn't getting involved.
I wouldn't necessarily bet on you guys.
Well, you know how you technically, if you put a bet on us and then on the other team, you can't lose.
I mean, yeah, I could put more money on the other team and then I'll probably make back the money I lose from betting on you.
Yeah, except you're going to be in the ring with us because that's
No.
how this works.
No.
But we are going to need to get you some armor, maybe get you some weight training or something.
No. I've not agreed to this. This is a no.
There's some nice tech prizes as well.
We could get you a new lab coat.
No.
All right. But
That's
I do
RaQui,
think
yes.
so. I do think you should at least come to the gym with me because you really can't have people jumping on you anymore,
And just
falling to your death.
Working out to get stronger. Sensible idea. Going into a battle arena. Not a sensible idea.
I
There we
mean,
go.
going into an arena to test said strength after your training.
When's the arena?
You were not giving a date. You know, you just know it's coming up.
Yeah. So, am I going to be strong enough by then?
Oh, we don't know.
No.
What we could do is use it as a way to
Bond.
test out some tactics, because we
Some
certainly need to
tactics?
come up with a way to fight with
Together.
like, grievous injury happening to one or several of us,
My tactic was to stay out of the way.
which didn't work because you weren't out the way enough.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is I'm going to be out the way enough, watching from the audience and not participating.
Okay, nobody's going to force you into a fight club.
Super.
But I would also be aware of the fact that next time when you come to us for help, which might involve us having to fight, we might turn around and go no, because we haven't had enough practice fighting with you and we can't trust you to have our backs.
I'm not going to do that.
I might definitely do that.
I mean, he does kind of have a point there.
I mean, you could
Yeah,
have
I'm
said
just-
no, even if you wanted to, because I had the captain's coin, but that's besides the point.
You might not have it next time,
Okay.
though.
On the topic of previous battles, does somebody want to tell me what this bomb was that we missed, considering I was blind for most of that fight?
Ah, you don't need to know about that.
So you did see the bomb.
I was busy flying out of the window.
So okay, let me just ground rule. If you see a bomb, perhaps share with those of us who are blind and therefore can't see said issue. It could maybe have done, I don't know, collected it, made the area.
I was kind of more focused on
Alerted
keeping you
bombs
alive, Errol. Like,
and I appreciate that, but it could have
Well,
been not
shut
an
up
energy
then.
bomb.
look, it's done.
And then you'd have had
Like,
more
I can't
work
go
for
back.
yourself.
And I wasn't the only one that saw it. Olo.
It wasn't just what I was aiming it at. Olo refuses to comment, I see.
There may or may not have been a bomb.
Olo's got a bit of grump on.
And also, Will, where were you? While I could see, I didn't know you were not there.
I thought I already explained that I was going to protect the captain. And then I ended up,
But then you were there and you jumped out of a window.
yes, after I realized that I could do nothing from where I was protecting the captain.
I'd just like to point out something that I thought of later on after the situation.
Dial-up.
Yeah, you've gone full on dialogue now.
Just thought about something that we could have done to alleviate that situation. You could have shut the door.
What, to stop him jumping
Looking
out
at
of the
her.
window?
No. If he couldn't see the captain, he wouldn't have been able to shoot at her.
He was
And then-
looking at the captain out of the window.
But she was next
In
to
a
the
room.
window.
Yet she put herself there. Remember?
Yes,
She
and we could have shut the
specifically-
door and she would have been out of sight.
No, it was a glass. She was by a glass window.
She was in the restaurant several stories down and across the street in a restaurant, and we were several
Okay,
stories
don't
up.
worry about it.
I think it's fair to
But
say.
given we
that
all did try
let's-
to make her just not go, which would have been the optimal solution.
Although we've tried that and she was very much like, no.
I think it's fair to say mistakes were made
Yes.
by everybody.
Yes.
Well, all I'm saying is that the training of going to this fight club might be a good idea, considering.
Figure
Olo's
out each
not wrong.
other's
Olo's correct.
weaknesses.
It would be good to get some friendly combat practice.
It would be good to know what each person's weaknesses and strengths are, and then try
I
and
hit things.
help. And so do I.
That's all I.
Yeah, the grind when you jump out of windows.
That as well.
And I observe from a safe distance of not getting involved.
And get jumped on and thrown to the ground.
You know what?
Yeah.
Olo.
So as Olo said, I just
I
need
will
to
go
stay
to fight
further
somebody.
away.
I'm in.
I think this is a great idea, and I think, as you have all eaten my breakfast, that yes, you will agree.
No.
Errol stands up from the table and goes to his room and finds whatever training gear he has. Like, comes out and is like, right, you and me.
I am just going to sit there reading a
Yes.
book.
Gym day.
You're going to meet a friend
no
called
reading.
Jim.
You can read your blood pressure after we finish.
If I do this, what's it worth?
Possibly your life. I'm trying to help you strengthen yourself for the next combat we find ourselves in.
Okay. I have 2 conditions if I do this.
Mhm.
1, no more jokes about dead bodies. It's not a joking matter. It is a very serious job, and I take pride in what I do.
Yep.
2, Olo, I am a bird. Get over it.
Get over. Just leans over and is like, I don't think she liked the egg joke.
Yeah, okay. But I gotta get. Are you dead serious about this? That's it. Last one.
If I die, you guys better feel responsible.
I don't
But
think any of us will
we'll
let
make
you.
sure that if anything does happen to you, that
You'll use for
Mulderries-
medical experiments.
no,
Will,
Mulderries would.
Will, I need to ask you this. You're
What?
a cleric, right?
Yes.
Shouldn't you
I
say
can-
something like, yes, I'll heal you. I will.
I mean, I
But you're-
thought that was
but you were
kind
just
of.
about to say. You were just about to say, if you die, Volderies will have your body.
I was going
Or
to say,
something along that.
take good care of your body if anything ever happened to it, and I couldn't revive you, but you didn't let me finish.
Insight check.
Like
Make
issue
an
with
insight
that?
check. You've had a wonderful track record so far.
Eh.
Please roll a natural 20.
No, it's a 17. Plus 4.
Are you
21.
telling the truth or lying?
Telling the truth,
Whatever
I was
is
going to
not
say.
important.
You realize in this moment, Errol, that by suspecting her, you have made yourself the biggest asshole in the room.
Yeah. Not next to Olo.
Slight issue with that, guys. Volderies is on vacation, so
Well, that's why I need to revive you every single time until I can't anymore. And then maybe ask my deity to maybe do some favors and bring you back until I lottle that option, and then we'll ask Volderies.
I mean, how many times do you think I'm gonna die?
Less if you go into the gym.
There's
I mean,
certainly
I can research fighting techniques in the library.
I wouldn't mind learning how to
You
dodge
still-
things either. Olo, you're really good at that.
You
Good at what?
dodging.
Things.
Yeah, I find not getting hit is the best way not to get hurt.
That's what the shield is for. But I would like to learn some things. I'm sure RaQui could benefit from not getting hit.
Certainly going to be a stiff competition.
Didn't come from us.
Oh dear.
So it sounds like we're
So is RaQui dead certain
joining.
she wants to join?
No, she is not dead certain. She wants to stay in the morgue or in the library. These
just-
guys won't take no for an answer.
She's just worried about the stiff competition.
Stop cracking all these jokes, guys.
Olo is just not saying anything, and it's killing him inside.
He's like vibrating.
It's fine. It's fine. As I am probably going to have to exclude myself just for a day because I have just come out of the hospital. Yes,
no
I am
gym.
healed. No gym for me today, but I will make sure that you guys have a very good, healthy meal full of protein and everything that will make your body go yes.
After all of that, if you wanted to go to the temple, I'll probably go there later anyway if you want to come with. Offer stands for everybody. But I didn't know if you were the religious sort.
I should probably head to the temple. I've got some things I need to figure out anyway. So
Go and
I
figure things out.
might be there before you.
And I'll meet you there.
With that, you'll go about your days. Although Darvis meets up with you and says, "So, have you spoken to your friends?"
Yeah, we're interested. Somehow we're all agreed to.
You're once again going.
Somehow we all agreed to enter.
Somehow.
Wonderful. Just so you know, it's not to the death. No one's gonna die. There's protections in place. And the only thing I need from all of you to enter is you need to choose a name for your group. So you can be introduced. There's a bit of fanfare involved. So I'll leave that to you and just let me know. There's still a couple of weeks before that is necessary, but figure something out.
Okay, cool.
I'll leave you to it.
When will we get the location and actual date?
In about a week.
Okay, cool. I'll liaise with my team and we can figure out.
Okay. And while you do that, figure out why you sound like a 90s dial-up connection.
It
doesn't say
only
that.
happens when you're back here, not when you're forward.
I'm guessing it's a fan or something.
I think it might just be heat. Heat mess.
And you muted. Okay, I think that is, with that said, and you having your homework of picking out a team name.
Group name.
I think that is, and your audio just straight up dying now. I think that is a great place to leave our session for now. Thank you all for joining us. It's been a while, but we're back, and next time, will you all be entertained?
100%.
Entertained?
And before we go, just quickly go around the room and then we can tell you who they are, who they were playing, and if you want to do so, tell you where you can find them in the dark corners of the internet. So, Ash, just to get you quickly.
I'm actually playing Olo, and he's glad he gets to fight.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Over to you, Jade.
Hi, I'm Jade. I'm going to be playing. Oh, Kevin, are any episodes uploaded yet of the Corn?
No. That's
Okay.
that's still under wraps. Secret project. Soon.
Well, you can find me on vampires eventually on this channel. And you can find me on JJ's Sketchy 1990. And also I have been playing Life is Strange number 2. I have been playing on Twitch if you wanted to watch a playthrough through episode 1.
Cool. Nate.
I'm Nate. I've been playing Errol Reminash, the Craggling fighter, who learned some things about themselves tonight. And you can find me on Twitter as Tiniest Sidekick, and here playing various games when the players are not having real life crises. Over to you, Kat.
And I'm Kat. I have been playing RaQui, who has also learnt some things this evening and clearly has a very long journey ahead, and has to be distracted with silly fight clubs. Yes, looking forward to that.
The first rule of this fight club is pick a stage name for your group. That's it for us. Thank you all for watching. We hope you had a good time. We will see you next time. Bye.